And hello, everybody. Welcome. I am Bridgett Riley, and I am very honored to share my story as a cancer survivor. I am originally from St. Louis, Missouri, and I grew up doing gymnastics. And I was decent, but I wasn't great, and I wanted to be great. So I jumped into karate because my brother was doing it, and that became my life. We got our black belts, we competed in a gazillion karate tournaments, and then it just wasn't enough. I needed more. And I kept getting disqualified for hitting too hard. So all the guys were kickboxing, and I said, hey, what about me? I want to kickbox too. But way back then, there weren't enough females fighting in the amateurs. So my karate instructor said, Bridgett, if you really want to do this, you got to turn pro right off the bat. I'm like, let's do this. Put me in that ring, man. I'm ready. So for my pro debut, I fought the United States champion, Sweet Denise Taylor. And at the weigh-in, she looked at me as if I were nothing. I mean, I had a 0-0 record. Hers was quite intimidating. Well, I won, and that was not supposed to happen. Sweet Denise was not so sweet when she ripped the microphone out of the ring announcer's hand and demanded a rematch in her hometown. She said she got ripped off, robbed. And so 2 months later, we went to her hometown for that rematch. The place was packed. There were signs everywhere saying she got robbed. I got booed, but that motivated me. I won by TKO, technical knockout. So I learned to never under or overestimate your opponent. I can apply that to cancer because this monster of an opponent, it's so overwhelming. But because of the work and the research of the American Cancer Society, this opponent can be knocked down. Speaking of knockdowns, after I won the US title, I took a world title fight that I was not ready for. But when you're a fighter, you want to fight. So I took it and I got beat badly. It shattered me. I'm so sorry. I totally lost my place. Bear with me. So that loss became the best thing that ever happened to me because failure can either end us or launch us. I chose to take flight. So I headed to Los Angeles and I surrounded myself with the best fight team in the industry. We went on to collect 5 kickboxing world titles and the IFBA boxing world title. And around this time, a casting director saw me training and he approached me and he told me I'd be perfect for this new TV series. I told him, I'm not an actor, I'm a fighter. But he talked me into it. And that would be my very first acting audition in Los Angeles. Well, I booked it, and it was the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. They saw I could do all my own stunts, and that was how I became a stunt woman. By then, my boxing career really took off. I fought for Oscar de la Hoya, Sugar Ray Leonard, and then I signed with Don King, and I fought on the Evander Holyfield versus Lennox Lewis undercard at Madison Square Garden. I was making history in women's boxing while filming movies and TV shows. I was indestructible, I thought. And then I felt like something was off, but I couldn't really put my finger on it. I didn't have major symptoms. So I thought maybe it's IBS or something from all my extreme weight cuts and yo-yo dieting through all the years. My mom told me to get a colonoscopy. I didn't want anything to do with that, but she insisted. And then I booked the film Bad Boys for Life. I said, Mom, after I wrap, and I would have kept procrastinating had she not stayed on me. And thank God she did. I wouldn't be sitting here right now talking to you had I not listened to my mom. On June 19, 2019, I had my colonoscopy. Dr. Hara sat my husband, Bob, and I down with a sense of urgency. She said she removed a polyp, but there's an aggressive 3-centimeter lesion that must come out. She immediately handed me the card of a colorectal surgeon and said, make the appointment now. She scheduled my MRI and she sent my biopsy off to pathology. A few days later, I got a phone call that would change my life. You have cancer. These words are paralyzing. It's like taking a bullet. How can this be me? I can get hit with a car as a stunt woman, but getting hit with cancer leveled me. I was diagnosed with stage 3 colorectal cancer at 48. My entire world stopped. After 2 major surgeries, 28 radiation and chemo treatments together, and then a second protocol of 8 rounds of a much stronger chemo cocktail, all while having a stoma and an ileostomy bag, I was cancer-free. But the joy and the relief I felt was short-lived. The very next day, my mom was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. She is my heart. She is why I am here. And seeing my best friend suffer was harder than anything I ever went through. And caregiving is hard, but it is also such a blessing. I got to be there for my mom. I got to take her everywhere she needed to go. I'd pick her up and I'd say, let's go. I'm driving Miss Daisy. And that would make her smile. And that would make my heart expand. My mom, Sandy, fought so hard with such dignity. She was fierce in battling this ominous disease. She passed away July 20, 2021. She is my hero. This cancer thing, it doesn't pick and choose. It can hit anyone at any time. All of us are touched by it. I don't say that as a scare tactic. This is the reality. This is why the American Cancer Society's research is so necessary. It matters, and we must do better. Let's be a part of the solution and not the problem. I want to thank the American Cancer Society for all you do. You help me sleep better at night, knowing that your research is moving us closer to progress. This is what hope looks like. And I want to thank all of you for listening to my story. It feels wonderful to know I am not all alone in this.